Hello and welcome again to a midweek reflection. What's your favourite path, the favourite place that you go walking when you do go walking? We've several. One of them is in Glendy, and amongst the things we've seen in recent years when we've been there have been, for example, young golden eagles, actually flying quite low, easily seen, and one of them even landed in a rock not all that far from where we were. And on another occasion, over on the other side of the glen, we saw what it turned out was a goshawk, diving with such speed that whatever it was chasing, I'm sure, it caught it. We checked up with a friend in Scottish Natural Heritage, and sure enough, there were goshawks in the glen at that time. Another one of our walks is in Gerlogie Woods, where earlier this year we came round the corner, heard some twittering in a tree, crept round, took out the binoculars, and there, along the branch, lined, were two long-tailed tits, mum and dad, and the 6 wains. So 8 birds in a row. One of those moments that you probably don't see often in life, and we may never see again. Or the Carney Woods, famous now because of the prevalence of red squirrels. There's quite a few of them down there. And when you go along, you can see various places where they feed, and where they feed, there are usually very small, fast birds, the coal tits. So when we're out walking, we tend to go favourite paths that are well trodden. A famous architect once said, when you've built a housing complex and you've laid the grass and the roads, leave it for a year to see where all the residents walk. And once they've worn the paths, that's where you put down the permanent paths, where people walk, where they become familiar. So when we think about walking on a path, that's no surprise then that in Jesus' time, one of the ways they talked about how we live our lives was to walk on the right path. We live today in a world where there are many paths that we are urged and encouraged to follow. There are certain other gods, apart from God, that become really quite dominant in our society. For example, there's the god of the glossy, the superficial, the surface of things, the image more important than the real thing. The adverts tend to pursue that and to present us with something that's big and beautiful and perfect. And compared to that, we are small, ugly and plain. Another god is the god of greediness, having what you want, not always wanting what you have. You know, the best things in life are never things. People, love, laughter, contentment, they're not things. They're part of the blessings of life. Or the instant, you know, the idea of fastness, whether it's fast food, fast money, fast career, fast car. And when you live fast, there's no patience, no time to listen, to grow, to think. So that even in our deepest relationships in life, love is something that grows. It doesn't happen and mature instantly. It matures into faithfulness and many a mile walked together, and so we're back to paths. Jesus once said there are 2 ways. There's a very broad way, but that way, like the gods of the glossy and the greedy and the instant, lots of people go that way, but the end of it isn't life. And then there's a narrow path. And Jesus says to follow that narrow path is to follow his teaching, to love our neighbour as ourselves, to forgive as we expect to be forgiven, to pray and to give God a place in our lives, to live our lives and to walk on that path towards the horizon where we know God is leading us, to be a peacemaker rather than a troublemaker, to learn that meekness is strength held under control of love and not weakness. So when Jesus said, "Follow me," he was really saying that he is a path, the one who can lead us forward and towards new horizons where life can be full and fulfilled. There's an ancient poem, by ancient I mean it's about 450 years old, Let me close by reading it. He is a path, if any be misled. He is a robe, if any naked be. If any chance to hunger, he is bread. If any be a bondman, he is free. If any be but weak, how strong is he? To dead men life, to sick men health, to blind men sight, and to the needy wealth. A pleasure without loss, a treasure without stealth. That comes from a poem called The Incarnation, a reflection on what it meant that God came to us in Jesus to be our friend and companion on the way, and to be the way and the truth and the life. Thanks for joining us again for our midweek reflection. God bless you.